Hello, my lovely people. As you can tell, I look like crap. I've been in bed all day because I can't move at all. I'm finally able to sit up, so that's a plus. What in the world? Anyway, so I can hardly move. My appointment was rescheduled because they think, oh, we're gonna reschedule it. So, yeah, it's rescheduled. So, I've been in bed all day feeling like crap. My legs hurt. My back hurts. Oh my gosh. My fingers are like, whoa. So I've taken the time to look up stuff, research stuff, and educate people. I'm educating you guys on EDS, or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And this one, I actually looked up stuff, wrote stuff down, so I'm going to be reading off of my handy dandy computer. See, I wrote it all myself, and you can't see it. I wrote it all myself. It looks really good. Like, it looks amazing. This is going to be like a 2-part thing because I've got another part to it because there's a condition that EDS can cause and like blah blah blah, and that's like its own separate thing. So, yeah. What is EDS? Okay, EDS stands for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It is an inherited condition that affects the connective tissues of the body. The connective tissues are responsible for supporting and structuring the skin, blood vessels, bones, and organs. It is made up of cells, fibrous material, and a protein called collagen. And so I'm sure somebody has heard of collagen before. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or EDS, is caused by a defect in collagen production. This condition is caused by a group of genetic disorders. What are the different types of EDS? There are 6 major types of EDS. These are really hard to say. I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but they are really hard to say. They look weird. There's arthrochalasia, the classic, dermatosparaxis, hypermobility, kyphoscoliosis, and vascular. The area affected differs with each type of EDS. Like, it could be in your back, your leg, it just depends on the type. But they all have one thing in common: hypermobility. What is hypermobility, you may ask? If you don't know what hypermobility is, that's kind of sad. Well, what it is an unusually large unusually large range of movement in the joints. Like being double jointed. Like when they say double jointed, that's unusually large amount of movement. Like, I can move my arm in a 360. That is unusually large. So like my thumb, I can, yeah. And being able to like do this with my fingers, it's just, The hypermobility and classic types of EDS are the most common. The other types are pretty rare. Considering EDS is already rare, that's rare. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is only seen 1 in 5,000 people worldwide. So that is like really rare. I also looked and saw that arthrochalasia, there's only about a dozen cases on record worldwide. So, yeah. Did you know? So, parents are often silent carriers of this defective gene that causes EDS. Thanks, Mom and Dad. This means that they may not display the signs of this condition and often don't realize that they carry it. And who can blame them? Because, well, this is a really sneaky thing. Like, some people, they can go years without any signs of it, and then all of a sudden it just shows up out of nowhere. Same thing with lupus. They're both, like, really similar, and they're really sneaky. There's no way to prevent it either, so, sorry. Symptoms. Classic EDS. Loose joints, highly elastic or velvety skin, fragile skin, skin that bruises easily. You can see that it has a lot to do with skin. Redundant skin folds on the eyes, muscle pain, muscle fatigue, benign growths on pressure areas such as the elbows and the knees, and heart valve problems. Hypermobility EDS. Loose joints, easy bruising, muscle pain, muscle fatigue, chronic degenerative joint disease, and premature osteoarthritis, chronic pain, and heart valve problems. EDS, all the types, can cause heart problems, so I'm just going to put that out there. Vascular EDS, fragile blood vessels, thin skin, transparent skin, thin nose, protruding eyes, thin lips, sunken cheeks, small chin, not cheeks, wow. Small chin, collapsed lung, and heart valve problems. Sorry about that. How is it diagnosed? The doctors may do a genetic test by taking a sample of blood to see if there is a mutation in certain genes. I was going to list the certain genes, but there's like way too many to list, and I'd probably bore you. A DNA test can also be done to see if the gene is also present in embryos. This form of testing can really only be done on women, though, as it is tested by using an egg and fertilizing it outside of the body. A skin biopsy might also be done by taking a sample of skin and then checking for abnormalities of collagen production, which I'd rather do the blood test, honestly. How is it treated? Now, I know that there's people out there who have EDS and they know this. Unfortunately, there is no actual cure for EDS, but there are ways to manage it. Some help, some don't. There's really no way of telling if it's actually going to help until you try it. Physical therapy to rehabilitate the joints and make them stronger. I've tried physical therapy and honestly it caused more pain. Surgery to repair damaged joints, which might even make things worse, honestly. And drugs to minimize pain. That's usually what people go for. They usually just go to the drugs, you know? So bad that drug life. Sorry. How to prevent injuries and protect yourself. Avoid contact sports, such as like football and stuff, and soccer. Yeah, no contact. And also avoid lifting heavy weights. Like, don't go to the gym every day lifting like 20-pound things when you don't even work out. Use sunscreen to protect your skin. Some people have a sensitivity to sunlight, like me. I'm really sensitive to sunlight. It affects my skin and makes my joints hurt. I know, that's like really weird. If you cannot use sunblock, like me, like you're allergic to it, like me, then minimize the amount of sun exposure. Like, wear a hat. And when you go swimming, try not to be in the sun too much. When you're like working in the yard, you're gonna have to wear long sleeve shirt or something because you need to protect your skin. Avoid harsh soaps that may dry the skin or cause allergic reactions. I have to be really careful because I'm allergic to everything. Literally everything. So certain soaps I cannot use. I cannot use Dawn dish soap. I cannot use the regular hand washing soap. I have to use like hypoallergenic soap. It's really hard to find, and it's expensive. Um, Use assisted devices to minimize pressure on your joints, such as crutches, a wheelchair, a cane. Heck, use like braces. Like, I have to wear a knee brace sometimes when my knee is really bad, and that helps just keep everything in place. What are the potential complications of EDS? So there's chronic joint pain, and most people with EDS have this chronic joint pain. That is like really, really common with people. For people with EDS, they have chronic joint pain. So if you have it, don't be surprised because I have it. I'm pretty sure that other people out there have it too. Joint dislocation. I can easily dislocate my joints, like really bad. I dislocated my shoulder a few years ago before I got diagnosed, and doctors didn't catch it, but it was dislocated. My dad put it back into place, and I'm permanently really flexible with the shoulder, and it'll dislocate randomly. So you have to be really careful because our joints are already loose. So once you loosen them even more, once you dislocate it, it's going to be like really loose. Early onset arthritis, which honestly, I'm not surprised because arthritis has to do with the joints. And we're dealing with a joint condition. Slow healing of wounds. I've noticed that I heal really slow, but I never thought about it. I never thought about it until I read that it can cause slow healing of wounds and leading to prominent scarring. I have some crazy scars by the simplest things. This one wasn't too simple. I ran into a barbed wire fence and cut my arm up. It was pretty bad. Like my knee. I cut it while I was in Montana, and now I've got this big old scar that's like crazy. And I've got scars all over me from minimal things, like getting cut by a cat, a paper cut. I've got scars from paper cut. It's crazy. And surgical wounds that can have a hard time healing. Like, I had a hard time healing with when I got my tonsils taken out. And you could also develop a heart condition called, okay, let's see if I can say this, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS. They call it POTS, which makes your heart randomly start beating faster. Like, you can just be sitting there calmly and then your heart will start racing. And unfortunately, people with EDS are prone to this condition. Almost everyone who has EDS develops this condition at some point. It sucks. Like, you can be sitting there and, like, it feels like you're having a panic attack almost. That's how fast your heart starts going, and it's like, it's really weird. I feel like I might have it, because I have those moments sometimes where I'm just sitting there and my heart starts racing, but you know what, I'm not going to say that I have it, because I'm not going to diagnose myself. I know sometimes people have to. But that is the second part, the POTS. I'm going to make a second video about it because it's got a whole web page about it. And this video would end up going from a 14-minute video to almost a 30. Yeah. And I don't think you want that. So, yeah, that is it. I hope that I educated somebody out there. I certainly learned a little bit while I was researching. I feel like people need to be more aware of EDS. Like, I honestly think that it should be taught in schools what these chronic illnesses are, because nobody knows about it. So they're like silent sufferers, like people sitting in the, like there's probably people sitting in the same room as me who have EDS, and they don't want to talk about it. Because, you know, I don't know why, but I get in kind of embarrassed. Like, it feels like I'm looking for attention whenever I talk about it to somebody. And I'm not trying to look for attention. I'm just trying to educate somebody about it and not be alone with it. Because, when you have something like this that's pretty rare, you feel kind of alone, because nobody understands it. Nobody understands what you're going through. And people, like, act like they do. Like, they are there for you. And they're trying to be there for you. And they're trying to understand. But they don't really understand. So, we're just kind of trying to look for someone who understands what we're going through. Because they really don't. They don't understand what we're going through. And it's really sad, honestly, because you want them to understand. But they don't. So, I think that it should be taught in schools. Because we learn all about, like, sickle cell stuff. And we learn about all these other rare conditions. We learn about cancerous things, but we don't learn about the chronic joint diseases or syndromes, whatever. We don't learn about things such as lupus or EDS or rheumatoid arthritis or, we don't learn about any of that. And seriously. Yeah. So, yeah, brain fart. Just kind of. So, yeah, I think it'd be pretty beneficial for people to learn about it. Because, one, it's kind of interesting to learn about. And two, we need to bring awareness to it. Because not many people do know about it, I didn't even know what EDS was. I didn't know what lupus was. I didn't know what those were until I learned that there was a possibility that I had one of them. The first thing we thought I had was EDS, I made a whole video about that before I got diagnosed. And then we learned that I had lupus, and turned out they were wrong, and I don't have it. But there's still a chance that I have it. It just might take a while to diagnose it, because they did see something wrong there that could lead to lupus, and so, but I do have EDS, and, I'm not upset about it. I mean, sometimes I'm like, just go away. I want it to go away, but it's not gonna go away. So, there are those days where I'm just like, why me? But right now, I'm like, I can be an advocate for this, I can teach people about this crap and bring awareness. So, thank you for watching and probably being kind of bored, but I was bored. I wanted to do something productive today because I can't move. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you got any questions, ask. I will look it up if it's about EDS or lupus or anything or POTS. And I'll incorporate that into my next video about POTS. I can just like, if you got a certain question, a specific question about POTS that you want me to look up and tell you, then I will incorporate that into my next video. So it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. Thanks for watching, guys. Love ya. In pieces and ounces. Bye.